We'll be starting in just a little bit. Ooh. Welcome to the party. It's your boy Mountain. We're back again for another day. Path of Exile. Um and double digit stacks. I can safely tank Astral Avalanche now that I even really want the Exarch Stone. I could safely do it and not die, and I didn't have to do all that crazy stuff. That's just that's just astronomically crazy to what you were doing there, sir. Astronomically crazy. So let's go ahead and let's discuss some of the things that we got going on. Okay, so here we go. We're back again. Path of Exile, new league coming out, 3.27. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go across all the different things that we gotta do to make 3.27 awesome. I'm sorry. I've done it. Oh, don't know what you're talking about. It hasn't changed that much. Look, I just kill them so fast I don't have to really worry about it. I mean, it's not my fault that your character is just so weak. Powers don't work 3, 4 times. Hey, look, the last time I did it, I just stood there and I tanked the whole entire thing. But that's just the way I am. I'm just so awesome like that. You know, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, but as we were discussing before we rudely got sidetracked on how to actually run this ball or run a ball inside of PoE, we have some things that we have to actually discuss, try to get things done. Using 5 portals isn't an option in hardcore. Hey, I didn't use 5 portals. Like, hey, to do it the first, hey, let's just be honest. And what I did the first time was I just pretty much smite tanked. I had this you forgot that I was running this one character and it was a duelist, I think it was, or gladiator. It was gladiator, and he was using smite, and I just pretty much face tanked. I face tanked the whole entire thing. I didn't have as much resistances as you were looking for and everything like that, but that's what I did with it when I did it did it this last league. Though now the league before I did minions, and then usually I just run, like I said, I usually didn't even have to worry about it. A minion, my minion output is a lot different than yours. Because when I start to do that particular part, you gotta have cluster jewels. I mean, I don't know exactly how you ran because your tree looks like a whole lot differently than mine. I'll do delirium as much as possible until I can get the cluster jewels as I can get. After I get the cluster jewels that I need, I'll roll up whatever I need. Um, and then after I roll the cluster jewels, and I get at least the big cluster jewel and one medium in place with blessed rebirth. I don't even care what other things are on it. I just need a large cluster and a blessed rebirth. That's it. And for SRS, for animated weapon or anything like that, you just need those two things, and then you just go rolling. Oh, you got it all figured out. You're good to go. I can't wait to see you die in hardcore. That's all. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do hardcore or softcore. I really haven't. It's gonna be a decision. I have to figure it out. Hardcore, softcore, easy kill, no kill, things like that. It's a lot of thought process that needs to go involved in when it comes to running. Uh, One problem with running hardcore is I run hardcore. You can't corpse through in hardcore. I don't know what you mean by that, but that's okay. It's not that bothers me with hardcore. Hardcore. So I could hardcore trade. I probably would be wouldn't have that much of a problem with hardcore. Hardcore trade. I probably wouldn't have that much problem with. Softcore is the reason why I play softcore most of the time is because of trade. I just don't like crafting inside this game, and since I don't like crafting, hey, what's up, Sarah Lynn? What's up? Throw your corpse at the boss. Ha ha ha! I don't throw my corpse at the boss. I don't throw my corpse at the boss. Um, but the only reason I pretty much the only reason I do softcore mostly is because of trade. I just do not like crafting. I do not like crafting. I do not like the grind to try to find something. I can do it and I work my way through, but I so not. I'm so not. I'm so not a. Uh, I'm so not a. My ADHD is a lot higher than yours. I can't doggone. I can't sit there for that long. Shoot, everybody who gets 100, I give them a 100 character, a level 100 character. I applaud them because I'm sorry to say that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know how y'all be sitting there doing that for that long on the same character, grinding for a piece of gear over and over and over again. Mm, you can grind for some stuff, but I'm just not into that. I'm not into that heavy grind like that. Mm-mm. That heavy grind of just that's a bottomless pit to me. 2 days for the big boys. What do you mean 2 days for the big boys? They'll hit 100 before Monday in SSF. Hey, you can do it. I still don't think I'm gonna be. Hey, I'm sorry. That ain't happening for me. I'm trying to take Friday off. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's talk about what we're gonna do for Friday. Let's talk what we're gonna do for Friday. I'm gonna be taking Friday, maybe Friday afternoon off, so I can go ahead and play Path of Exile, and I'm gonna take Monday off. Um, this is already been decided. It's one of those things that was inside of my thing. Friday is for the kiddos. I've got Monday, Tuesday off. Ah, okay. So I'm gonna be playing. I'm gonna be playing kiddos. I'm not worried about the kiddos. My wife will be upstairs. She can do it. The candy will be inside. The candy will be up there. She can just she can just go ahead and do what she needs to do. They can come by the house and ring the doorbell, whatever they're gonna do, get the candy, and then get away because I'm gonna be in here playing. That's pretty much what's gonna happen. You're gonna have to leave them in the dust. Hey, so but either way it goes, sadly I'm in change freeze and all time off denied period at work. Even if I had a change freeze, I'd still would a change freeze just means hey, we ain't making no changes. And so that means I would every look if we actually had a change freeze window at my company. Let's just be honest. If we had a change freeze window, I could play while I was at work, just like you. I'd be like, look, ain't nobody gonna be making no changes, and I can play. I could play, but since that ain't gonna happen, changes are considered, at my job, changes ain't gonna be like that. It's gonna be like, hey, oh, hey, hey, hey. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something. I went to work. I had to dig this. I had to dig this hat out. I had to dig the hat out. I went to work and I was playing. I was wearing this. I don't know if you can see that. I was wearing that hat when I went to work the other day, the beginning of the week. No, no, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. People were like, "Oh, that's just messed up." I said, "Is it too soon?" I was like, "Is it too soon to be wearing this hat?" Oh man, you want to talk about some irritated and hot people? There were some hot people about the situation. Now, let's go ahead and get some stuff in place. Okay, so let's look at some things. Next, you put on the golden. Oh God, Brandon. Next you'll put out the golden jacket. Pull out the golden jacket. Okay. I don't know about the golden jacket. I really don't know what that is, but I can say a couple of different things. Uh, I wore the hat, and I didn't really shouldn't I shouldn't have worn that hat because they could have they could have got rid of me. They could have got rid of me. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the path of exile, keepers of the flame. Okay, so this is if you're certified across all aspects, you get a golden jacket. No, I don't got that. I'm not even blood. I ain't even gonna. Yeah, cool. I didn't even know that. Thank you. You know more about AWS than I do. So who's the AWS fan? Okay, so Path of Exile, Keepers of the Flame. Okay, so let's go ahead and discuss some of the things that we need to be aware of for Keepers of the Flame and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and call out a couple of things that I think is going to be very interesting with the Keepers of the Flame that we're going to need to be aware of. Uber glossary, but unknowledgeable IT professional for being an Uber glossary, but not understandable. So the things that we have to look at, we have to talk about is this Genesis tree. Now, inside of the official, yes, okay. So they went through and they had the content reveal, right? And so when they had the content reveal, everything, there was some things that they discussed that was kind of interesting about the tree. Okay, so we're talking about a tree that is a tree. Okay, so we have a couple of things that's going to be interesting inside of this league. All right, so anybody, anybody, anybody who does not do breach. So, and this is one question I have. This is a secondary piece of breach, right? So, if this is a secondary piece of breach, can you increase the frequency of the league mechanic by having breach stuff in your Atlas tree? That's a thing that I think somebody should have asked and we should have found out about. Is like, hey, this seems like if I decide to go up to the right, pull the breach things, get more breaches to go, more frequency of breaches and everything like that. Does that mean I'm gonna get more of this stuff? We need to kill things inside of the Keeper of the Flame breach. Oh well, no, I think that there are some things that you could definitely do for in here. There's definitely things you could do for in here. All right, so some of the things that they were talking about and everything is being able to drop certain type of things. So you drop more rings. I want rings with health and everything else. And yeah. So there was. Oh, sorry. Let me go ahead and break this down. So you're yeah. Let's take this one piece at a time because you're jumping all over the board or all over the place a little bit. Are we dead yet? Let's take one piece at a time. And so, but there are things for us. Okay, there are things for us. Yeah. So the tree itself. My question is, do you get crafted blood from killing things in a regular breach? or is it only their special breach? Because if you can get it out of the regular breach and inside of the special breach, then the only way to go inside the Atlas in this league is to make sure you breach heavy. Go as much deep as you can into the breach. Get as many breach things as you possibly can, and everything. Because what you want to do is you want to go around in that breach circle and then get things. Well, that's what I'm questioning. Well, is there only one breach, or is there two two breaches? One for them, one for Keeper of the Flame, because the Keeper of the Flame has these. They have these new special hands. So old breach is gone for now. Okay, if the old breach is gone for now, can we go heavy into breaching the Atlas tree? Because they're not going to just get rid of those nodes. They're not going to redo the entire Atlas tree just because they brought this out. So my question is there going to be two separate breaches? Or are they gonna say, okay, the breaches are gonna be replaced? Because when you let's go ahead and break down the patch notes. So in some areas, gap between the worlds, a massive breach hand, unstable breaches, born with the flames of these breach hands, blah 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 blah. So you see that? I don't see anything. Okay, in the Keepers of the Flame League, breach clusters have been removed from the Atlas tree. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Beyond clusters have been moved from the left of the Atlas tree to the right side of the Keepers of the Flame League. So yes, you will get no more breach. Well then, I'm not playing this league again. Enjoy an image from a week ago. Let's go ahead. So breach is gone. There is no more breach tree. Breach Atlas. There you go. So this is something that we were supposed to know about. And so the breach clusters have been removed. So all the breach things from here, there, 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 and up here have been taken out. I love it. There's going to be breach in every mat. Yep. Gingy's like, she's not playing again this league. Okay, so that's not a problem. I'm just this is why I needed to find this out, because I didn't read through the patch notes or anything like that. But that was one of my concerns. One of my questions was, why go it, if you got the Atlas tree, let's go ahead and just do breach on the Atlas tree and then just increase the amount of breaches you can get. But then the question is, in this tree right here, when we start enhancing this tree, what are some of the things that we can do? We already know that you can get yourself specific pieces of gear, specific drops. I want a ring that so in other words, let's break it down. If I was going to be doing this tree, I would do something like, I want a ring with critical strike chance and increased cast speed, or critical strike chance and let's just say critical strike chance and physical damage or lightning damage to it, and then just constantly just fill that up until I get the ring that I want. And then after I get that ring, respec out of that and go for something else. Like I need boots, and I want them to have life, and movement speed, and this type of resistance. So this is going to make some pretty good capabilities for us to be able to craft our gear. You're going to have to drop a lot of stuff to get what you actually want, but you can craft your gear up and just do breach, 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 and drop what you want. So then let's play devil's advocate. Would have been nice to slow down, open and close. Yeah, it would have been. So then let's play devil's advocate. Is it better for us to actually run and do breaches, looking for pieces of gear, or would it be better for us to do currency as much as and fast as possible? In Trade League, currency's good, but is it really that good? I mean, am I going to be able to do this and get divines to drop on a regular basis? No, you're not, right? So since you're not going to do that, I mean, is it really worth it to do? Oh, I'm gonna do currency drops for from the tree, because it's going to make a change. It's going to make a change in play style. I mean, it will make a change for us how we gonna play inside of the league, because these things are going to be interesting. Now, one of the things that we're going to have to figure out is these handy graphs, these upgrades and stuff like that. Are we dead yet? It's like, oh, they don't have anything for us, but he has not really paid attention. He's not really paid attention. This is a major thing that I think. Look at this one. Summoning Telegraph. I got a 7% increase. 77 minions have a 7% increase attack and cast speed. Use level 30 greater avalanche, which is what this is. When you use an offering skill, oh wow, this graph will summon summon an army of hive-born breach monsters to do your bidding. These summoned monsters have their physical damage converted to cold and have a chance to apply brittle on hit. You can have 30 hive-borns. It'll summon 10. You can have up to 30. 10 it gives increased cold damage. It increased chance to find ancient wombats, womb gifts. Skills used by this graph have skills used by this graph have 16% increased cooldown recovery rate. For minions, it's crazy. And then so this is another thing that you got to be aware of. This could be this could be awesome. You hit your maximum pretty quick. You want to know why? If you got Queen of Hunger. Queen of Hunger, I don't even have to worry about casting. I just have to worry about yes, every 18 seconds it'll do it. Queen of Hunger will just automatically bring this out. I don't even have to worry about casting, because if you do Queen of Hunger, it's going to use an offering. Boom. The first one's going to be a flesh offering. Boom. The second one's going to be spirit offering. Boom. The third one's going to be this other offering. Every 18 seconds, I'll get another 10. I'll get another 10. I'll get another 10. And let's just be honest. You can adjust. I use a trigger. You can use a trigger weapon as well, but I'm just saying, You could also adjust this because your timing can be adjusted. Cooldown recovery. Cooldown recovery. Get yourself a uh, do elder maps constantly until you can get yourself a belt with a cooldown recovery, and then you get the cooldown recovery from the belt. But most likely you're not going to go that route. What you'll do is you'll go with a darkness and throne from the abyss, and you're going to look for jewels that actually have cooldown recovery. A poison winter orb build? Okay, we can do that. We can do that. We'll look at it. We can look at it and see what we can do with the winter orb build, you know. And so they have a lot of things for minions in here that, you know, I'm surprised when you said they ain't got nothing for minions. I'm like, what is wrong with you? They've got lots of things for minions. You just gotta, minions are awesome. So then you got the in game. You got these in game breaches where you got to destroy the hives. The helmet, that helmet. I don't know if they got it over here so we can see the unique for it, but that's actually something that I was like, that's interesting. Another thing that I think is very interesting. Also, they don't show the unique for the helmet. I know the helmet exists because they showed it in the thing. And we can look at the content reveal to find it. But one of the things that I think is very interesting is that one jewel. It's not here, but we can see it inside of the patch notes. So inside of the patch notes, there's this jewel. Gems. There's these new gems, right? New skill gems that they got. That came out with the thing. It's an they got these intelligence gem. I don't know where it is. Come on, I know I saw it here somewhere. Maybe that. It's not these. Not the like a new gems. Not that. Okay, it's all the way at the top. It got to be all the way at the top. So they got some new gems, and the one that I got questions on is this. Is this gem that I saw? Here we go. Added a new, where is it? Intelligence gem, this one. Added a new intelligence support gem, Living Lightning. Support skills which cause damaging hits, causing them to trigger summon Living Lightning when dealing lightning damage. Cannot support skills used by totems, traps, mines. Cannot be modified. Cannot modify the skills of minions. But if you look at the announcement, at the content reveal itself.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers.
Let's go ahead and look at this thing. There was, and they talked about it. They talked about it, which was one of the things that I thought was really nice. And I was like, oh, hold up. New skills and support gems.
Now, graph skills won't be the only new tools to play with. In 3.27, we're also adding a collection of new skill and support gems. Let's go over them now. Kinetic Rain is a new wand attack, which covers the ground in unstable conditions. It's a whirling storm of wind and lightning where it lands. These linger for a few moments above you, inside your spellcasting to augment your pack clearing abilities, or find whatever means possible. Minions that zap through packs of enemies will create hovering orbs of.
So, did you hear him say minions? Right? He said minions.
Energy. These linger for a few moments above you before zipping off.
This is still the old that power that they stole from from Path of Exile 2, they brought it over to Path of Exile 1. But after this one, listen to what he says about this new one.
To nearby targets, chaining between them, then detonating. Living Lightning support will bring to life living sparks of energy. Elemental minions that zap through packs of enemies with speed and ease.
Elemental minions that zap through guys with things in speed. So my question is the following: is it something like the Summon Phantasm? Okay, so if it is like a Summon Phantasm and it is a minion, a lightning minion, an elemental lightning minion that we can execute.
Use these alongside your spellcasting to augment your
Arc minions, expert, except the arc is in the minion. Yes. So what I'm saying, yeah. How's the support work? So I'm believing it's going to be something like Summon Phantasm, where you have to have something else to execute, and with the way that he made it sound, and the way that it looks inside of the content, inside of the patch notes, it supports a lightning skill. So so let's just say I just have ball lightning. I just do ball lightning, that support gem, and nothing but beefing up the damage for minions, right? So I can just cast ball lightning, right? And when you cast the ball lightning, it's gonna start generating these minions. The patch, the notes came out. Whatchamacallit? The patch notes came out. This is it right here. Added a new lightning support gem. Living Lightning. Support skills which cause damaging hits. So something that has to have a damaging hit. I believe that I would probably do like ball lightning or something like that. Causing them to trigger summon Living Lightning when dealing lightning damage. This is why I say it's going to probably have to be a lightning. They say causes damaging hits, causing them to trigger summoning Living Lightning when dealing lightning damage. So when dealing lightning damage throws me off. I believe that means it has to support a lightning thing. But it says it's not going to be able to support minions. That's the key. You can't support a minion. Because right at the bottom, at the very end, cannot support skills used by totems, traps, or mines. Cannot modify the skills of minions. So my thing is, and then also this piece right here, trigger summon Living Lightning when dealing lightning damage, makes me think that you can only get this to function if it's supported. If it supports a lightning attack, some lightning thing, doesn't matter what it is, arc, lightning tendrils, ball lightning, any of the things that is a spell and hits and has a lightning tag to it, lightning arrow. You could a storm rain or something like that. Any of those, I think it would trigger these, right? So this is my thing, is if I get a 6-link chess piece and I run this, or not even a 6-link chess piece, let's just go ahead and I get a 6-link bow and I use storm arrow or something like that, or lightning arrow. And it generates these guys, and then I have my normal minions as well. So I can have my specters, my animated guardian, and all those other things that I normally run, and I can have these guys. Does that mean, and how long do they last? In the video, it looks like they lasted a long period of time. If we look at it,
pack clearing abilities, or find whatever means possible to cover the world in living sparks of ruin. Windburst support unleashes chaotic tornado casting to augment your pack clearing abilities, or find whatever means possible to cover the world in living sparks of ruin.
See, They might last a bit, they might not, but I'm questioning because he says minion, and that makes me think that you can get like like because minion damage is in if you go straight minion, will it if that's a minion, can I get the 600 or the 500% increase to minion damage for those sparks? You can do it with summon phantasm. If I use that, if I do that with this, right? They didn't. But the way that they were playing it, I don't know if that's the right way. I don't think that they thought about breaking it. I'm thinking about trying to break it. I'm thinking about, hey, somehow get lightning on a minion build. Yeah, have my normal minion build. My normal minion build would be considering let's just say you do the standard minion stuff. You got your 4-link, you got your 4-link, you got your animated guardian, you got your specter, you've got your meat shield and your minion life. That's one. You do your automated your automation, your steel skin, or your steel or molten shell, more duration, and then you get your phase run. That's 2 4-links gone, right? So then what you do is you have whatever's going to be your main damaging thing. So if my main damaging thing is, if I'm thinking my main damaging thing is going to be this, I can do a 6-link light ball lightning, then this support gem, and all the things I need to do to make that thing strong, and put that in my chest, right? And if I want, then I have the wand I can do, and or a shield to go for survivability, or I can just say I'm going straight offense. And if I go straight offense, then that means I can put more minions, a different type of thing. I could pull the minion out of not the minion. I could pull my specter out of my 4-link, put the carrion golem in there, and then inside of a whole nother 6-link, because there's staffs that you can do that actually gives really good bonuses to minions. You can put a staff together and then say, okay, I'm gonna put a 6-link staff and put specters. So my main damage things are going to be the lightning and the specters. And then you got specter. There's some specters out there that got some really good lightning damage and do some really deep, really good like exposure and things like that with their attacks, with their auras that they got. So you run those specters, you run this, and then you just lightning through the entire map. I mean, there's a possibility. If this is an actual minion. So then the question is, what does it do? Does it become a minion? Can it be enhanced? Is it like this? Is it like a summon phantasm support? Because summon phantasm support is a minion. Is it a support minion that supports lightning? Because if it a lightning attack, if it is, I see some serious. And then let's just go ahead and be honest about this. You could even get really just thinking about it makes me go, ooh, this could be. What is it? Doriana's, what is it? And if you can get it to work with this, you get yourself some negative lightning damage or negative lightning resistance, and you throw that negative lightning resistance as high as you can get it, like negative, get yourself into a negative hundreds, and you got these lightning, the lightning elementals, and then you do lightning specters. How much damage can you get? How much damage could I actually get out of that support gem? Huh? That could be ridiculous. They actually just did a the what you want to call it, the support, the showcase. I just think the showcase was kind of lame.
Elemental minions that zap through packs of enemies with speed and ease. Use these alongside your spellcasting to augment your pack clearing abilities.
So they say use it along your spell casting. So pretty much what it sounds like to me you can support lightning lightning skills. Then my question is, it only looked like it had 4 minions.
Or find whatever means possible to cover the world in living sparks of ruin. Windburst support.
And so then it looks like it only got four minions. Now, can you get those 4 minions really strong? Doriano's prototype, some other things that actually might be a very good. It could be a one of those meme builds where you can sit there and you can just and just go on about your business, and it's just a whole bunch of fun. That's a possibility. I don't know exactly, but that's what makes me that's what's intriguing me. That's what's intriguing me about that. Now, another thing that somebody was sitting there saying, we got let's see, where's the they show uniques, fights, quality of life, supporter packs. Did they show the uniques in this, or was there a unique somewhere else? Asynchronous trade, boss, quality of life.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, so you will still be opening onto Aelith. Aelith. This brazen action can draw the attention of Vroon, Marshal of Zesht, who will do everything it can. They can also grant a wide selection and sinew as the invading monsters. These fuse directly to your body. Additional pack clearing power. You could consider the Squalling Tool Graft. When commanded, this graft will cast Dance in the White, creating a deadly ice. This can be commanded to call down a ring of no further than the Erupting Zoth graft, which causes massive total of 16 different graft types you can grow.
Yes, I do believe that minions can't utilize it. That's what I said earlier. I don't know if you, when I was sitting there and we were talking about minions, remember I said it cannot modify the skills of minions. So that means you can't use it with a minion. So, well, it's not. It's not. Okay, so the reason why they worded it that way is the following. Okay, this supports, if you look at it, it supports anything that hits and does lightning damage. When dealing lightning damage, there are specters. There are specters that are straight lightning. There's a bunch of specters that are straight lightning. Yeah, cannot support minions would be more intuitive. Yes, makes it sound like the abilities that minions use, which is exactly what I'm saying. Because those straight lightning minions would be able to trigger this normally, but they said, hey, cannot modify the skills of minions. would the auto attack work? See, that's the question. That's a good question because there are some minions that have like specters that actually have an auto attack that's actually lightning, which is a good question. That's a good question. Maybe it is a skill. There's an auto attack option on the bar. What do you mean by that? There's an auto attack action on the bar?
Now, dealing living lightning support will bring to life living. You.
Oh, when you play the game, yes. Like left click out, yeah, auto attack on a new character. Yeah, gotcha. I understand what you mean now. But yes, that's a good question, and it is a very good question, very valid question. I think personally that it supports a lightning spell, or something that does lightning, some type of lightning spell. It could be a lightning like storm rain or something like that. Could also actually trigger it, something like that. I personally would try to put it with ball lightning. That's just the way I am. Ball lightning. And then my question also is, what type of support does it do? What does it do? That the support. It's. I need a visual of the gym because that looked like it can have four. You can have up to four minions the way that they were running it. No, it's kinetic. That skill's kinetic. That's a kinetic skill.
Which covers the ground in unstable kinetic energy.
Kinetic
These
energy.
hazards collapse at the slightest touch, releasing their energies into any unfortunate soul who happens to be standing on them. With enough projectile,
It's kinetic. Now, they have a support gym for that as well. And so this is some of the things that I think is going to be pretty interesting this league. They got a support gym that this thing leaves a little knot, like a knot of. You see these little things that explode? It leaves these things on the ground. There is a support gym that they were talking about that you can tie to this that will allow it to make more of them. So instead of one of them having, it might make 2 or 3 of them. So you can have a lot more of those exploding kinetic explosions in place. Now, that could be very interesting long term. Very interesting. Because then you can, let's go ahead and look at some things. This is where kinetic stuff is basically physical attacks, okay? Kinetic blast basically is physical attacks, okay? And what happened to our favorite thing, the assassin? The assassin now has a everything poison configuration, right? Everything poisons. With that rain, that little one that you were just talking about, what happens if all that's poison? What happens if all the wand damage that's
who
coming
happens to be
down-
standing on them. With enough projectiles and area of effect, an enterprising exile could carpet the world in dangerous kinetic force.
Dangerous kinetic force that stacks poison. That stacks poison. Huge thought. There's a lot of builds, there's a lot of builds that just, after watching this, my brain was just like, oh, I gotta try this. Oh, I gotta try that. Oh, I gotta try that. I mean, it's just like crazy. This would be nothing but stacking poison. You know, here you go. Here you go. Hold up for a second. Come on. You can't do this to me. You gotta do the right thing. Come on. Oh my God. That's exactly what went through my head when I saw this. I went, wow. Because this kinetic rain thing, this could be really good. Stacking poisons like crazy. You get as big a physical wand damage you can possibly get. You don't need the other stuff and everything, let's just be honest. Oh, ouch. That just hit my head. Oh, you don't even need to say physical. You could just say, I want wand. Give me a wand with as higher DPS configuration as you can get. I want physical, lightning, fire, whatever. Give me a stack wand with a whole bunch of stuff, right? Run kinetic, whatever this thing is, this kinetic rain thing. Do the all poison with the support thing, so it just, oh, wow. Oh, that hurt. Just the thought of it. Ooh. Hey, it's on. It is on. On like popcorn. I'm not even going to deny. I have thoughts, and these thoughts from the patch notes and the things that they were talking about, there's just a whole bunch of things that can be done. And depending upon how we run it, you got lots of things that can be taken care of. Oh, like my build that I actually was sitting there and I've tested and run, which I'm playing beginning of the league, is that ball lightning assassin. It was doing really good damage before, with just me using chance to poison and added chaos to get the best poison kind of damage out of it. All the lightning damage was just doing lightning damage. Now that all gets converted into poison damage, all of it, all the damages that can be done gets converted into poison damage. So the poison damage that I was doing, which I was doing not that much poison, but because I could stack it so quickly, it actually still worked out. Because my poison damage per poison was only like maybe about 10,000 per. But I'm stacking so many of them because I'm hitting so many times that I'm getting so many stacks of poison onto it that it actually becomes dangerous. Well, guess what? Now all the damage that was being not used toward poison now gets used toward poison. So the 30,000 or the 30,000 points of lightning damage that was coming from that wasn't getting calculated into poison now gets calculated into poison. So that would mean that my poison damage goes from like 9,000 maybe to 15 or 20,000 per poison stack. And I'm hitting so much and so fast that the poison stacks now, that's huge. That's gonna be, I can't wait to try this out. I can't wait to try out the new assassin to see how it rolls. I just I feel that it's going to be a very interesting league. And because of all the differences that they have inside the league, all the different things that we got, we're going to have a lot of modifications. Now, this is something that I did not actually check into, but we need to look at some things. So, there were some changes that they made, okay? So, some of the changes that they made was this one, obliteration. So the obliteration wand used to be on an omen wand base. I'm sorry, on an imbued wand base. Now it's on the omen wand, right? So let's go ahead and look at this. So it's on the omen wand, okay? Omen wand is increased spell damage. It used to be on the viewed wand, which is 37. 33 to 37. They took it down. Ooh, that's a nerf. That's a nerf on how much spell damage the obliteration wand can do. Because the obliteration wand, right here, the obliteration wand had an increased spell damage. A baby nerf? Nah, dude, that's not a baby nerf. That's not a baby nerf. That's 8% spell damage reduction. 8% spell damage reduction. And then, let's just be honest. It's a lot more because of this. The Omen wand only attacks 1.4. The imbued wand does a 1.6. You see why they did that, right? You see why they did that, right? They did that because the obliteration wand, when you look at the obliteration wand, what does it do? Enemies you kill have a 20% chance to explode, dealing a quarter of their health as life and chaos. Right? So, if you can attack a lot, you can get a lot. Boom, 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 boom. A lot of the corpses blowing up, causing a whole bunch of damage. Well, I just slowed you down. You got a lot less. You have a lot less of these corpses blowing up because you're attacking a lot less. I see you, GGG. You trying to nerf things without people seeing it, without people really knowing you nerfing things. That's what they doing. They nerfed that. There's another one that they nerfed too. So the calling wand for the replica midnight bargain. So let's look at that one. Replica midnight bargain. So this used to be on the calling wand, and now it's gonna be on. Hold up, was it on the calling wand? No, it's on the calling wand. Used to be on the engraved wand. The engraved wand. So let's go ahead and see what the base is. The base difference. So a calling wand is a minion wand increase, and it used to be on engraved wand. Right?
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me.
That's funny. That's funny. I like the obliteration stacks. So double the physical and extra physical physical chaos. I believe they double the chance for explosion. I believe in double the chance for explosion. Yeah, obliteration stacks. That's not a problem for that. So the obliteration one, this is what they, all they did was they slowed down the attack capability of it. They slowed down the attack. The attack used to be, you used to be able to attack 1.6 a second. Now you attack 1.4 a second. So so this is I have a question. When they said that they did this for the replica, they do that for the Midnight Sun as well? There you go, Midnight Bargain. There you go. So all they did for this one is that they instead of a engraved wand, the engraved wand, which is what we give spell damage, they made it a minion wand. So they've made that a minion wand now, which is good. That, don't get me wrong, that's good. So what they did was they said, why are we doing this and giving spell damage? It doesn't help. It doesn't help a minion guy to get spell damage. So now they move this so that this now shows minion damage, and you get a minion damage increase here. You get the movement speed, minion damage from the wand itself. You get raised zombies, specters, and a raised zombie, a specter, and a skeleton extra. It'll reserve 30% of your life. And so that actually is I think that the Midnight Bargain change is a buff. It's an actual buff. Because you can get an extra 12 to 16% to your minion damage. Instead of a useless stat on that wand, you now have a good stat that helps you out. Just boosts up your damage for your minions. Buff at the cost of playing softcore. Nah, you can just grind away until you find it, sir. Do your hardcore solo self-found. You're fine. You can do it. Grind away. Do you. You do you. You do you. I ain't gonna. Reserve 30% of your life. That's not as bad as you think inside of the minion life type stuff. Depending upon the builds that you got, some minion builds, not mine because I'm not trying to get that spend that much money, but there's some minion builds that have 80,000-90,000 effective hit points. You got to get mirror tier gear for it, but I'm not trying to go million. Look, most of my builds sit around about 40, 50K. 40 or 50K is all I go for. I'm all about trying to be good, trying to be awesome, but no, not at that cost. I'm sorry, not at that cost. So if we go and we say import art, Mercenary League, right there. If you look at this is my build. This is my animated weapon build. My effective is 46. Yeah, well, my builds are the same way. Hurry! But like I said, 46,000. Oh, hold up. What's this one? Update. Oops. There was an update. What is this update? The new update. Nothing to the new stuff. Just more bug fixes. Just more bug fixes. That's all that is. You're sad about the bloodlines? Why are you sad about the bloodlines? I think the bloodlines are going to be interesting. The ones that they showed us, maybe not for me. But the other, there's another 7 bloodlines? There's another 7 bloodlines. That doesn't, to me, I don't think that that's that bad of a situation. You can find out of the other 7 bloodlines, you can find something that might be good for you. Oh, yeah. I don't like the ones that they gave us. Like this one. This is actually, look, let's just be honest. Let's look at this. Hold up. Oh, I'm sorry. In the wrong one. Should be there. So, no, they didn't intentionally pick the worst because that's not really the worst. It's not. Only accessible killing a pinnacle boss. Is it? Are all of these pinnacle bosses? I'm just saying. It's not a pinnacle boss. This one comes from beating this is I don't consider the guy in the mist a pinnacle boss. Do you consider or sorry, not the guy this was the this is the lady with the those are just bosses. Yeah. This is the lady I think this is the one that does the Ashabi. Yeah. This is Ashabi here. And so this is Ashabi. This one's the nameless one. This one is Chaos. The Chaos one, Chaos Bloodline, I think comes from Vol. They're beefed up. Did it sound like they were beefing them up? It sounded like it sounded like you just, you know. It might be. They might be beefed up. But I didn't get that as it didn't sound like it was going to be, you know. Yeah, how do you that's I didn't think it was beefed up. That's the way that it sounded. But you might be right. We'll have to go through the process of figuring that out. But this one is actually huge. If I go kill Ashabi, I get this. I get this. This would actually be very interesting. And we can do the content thing and just check it out. But if you look at this right here from what it's +3 maximum number of seals for let's just say for a Blade Vortex poison build. Poison Blade Vortex. I cast once, I get 6 instead of casting once and getting 3. It's also very good for you. Are we dead yet for SRS? Oh yeah. So I can understand where you say that, but the pinnacle bosses are I consider pinnacle bosses different. I understand what Are We Dead Yet's trying to say. He's like, hey, you gotta do things to get to these bosses, but you gotta do things to get to all the bosses. For me to get to Cirrus, I gotta do something to get to Cirrus. For me to get to all the guys that bring you up to Cirrus, you gotta do something to get to them. It's always been that way, but you don't consider them pinnacle bosses. We never considered them pinnacle bosses. You just considered them bosses. An example would be Breach. When you're doing Breach and you do everything you can to get the Breach Stone, then you do the Breach Stone, you run all the way through to the end of the Breach, and then you kill the boss in the Breach. He's never been considered pinnacle. Uber pinnacles are totally different. Uber pinnacles are yeah. So we have to kind of define pinnacle boss, because that to me is where I think where we gotta define the pinnacle boss. But like I was saying, if you do the Shabi, you run this and it's great. Oh yeah, I was getting ready to do that. These are the pinnacle. These are what they consider pinnacle bosses. Yeah, you're half right. Shaper, Elder, Cirrus, Maven, Searing Exarch, Incarnations. Those are all considered uber bosses or pinnacle bosses in their mind. I would never consider Cirrus a pinnacle boss anymore. He's such an easy walk. I would never consider Shaper and Elder pinnacle bosses because they're such an easy walk. This one is hard. This one's hard. These two can be hard depending upon your build. These are crazy hard. I don't care what anybody says. That right now, I have not been able to figure out the mechanics on those things. Those things suck. Yes, I got in there and I got waxed. I got waxed in I think I did 2 of these and I got waxed. I didn't do the third one. I haven't gotten the third one. I did 2 of them. But hey, I won. I did win. But it is as Are We Dead Yet says, I threw my corpse at the boss. I threw my corpse at the boss for that. Sad about Bloodlines. Yep. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Are We Dead Yet? This is you want to go beat a Shabi, and you want that one. I'm gonna tell you, you want this because you can get 6. You can get 6 of your doggone SRSs out at one time. Just wait enough time, boom, 6 of them gonna get executed. That's a beautiful thing. You have to sacrifice something on your tree, though. You have to sacrifice something to get it. But that's a beautiful thing, I think. This is an interesting one. So this one actually I don't think is a very big. This could be interesting, and I'm gonna say the reason why is because you start off with 150% when you invest in elusive, and so then or 125%, and it scrolls down from there. So at 100%, you got a 50% chance of it getting taken off. I like it. I like it. And the reason why I don't know. I don't know. Are We Dead Yet? There's 10 of them. I do. They never announced to what the other 7 were. So I can't tell you if there's a Zoth one. I can't tell you if there's one that's off of what you want to call them, bosses that are inside of Blight. I don't know. I can't. I'm just making up stuff. I don't know if there's ones off of the Legion. I have no clue. I can't tell you where. I cannot tell you where the bloodlines come from, other than the 3 that we have seen. There are 3 bloodlines. This right here, I think, is a very good one. And I will explain the reason why. I'll explain the reason why because need minion stuff from me, not a better Unleash Zool. We need to patch. We need the patch notes. Well, that's what I'm going through the patch notes and going through the different things about the patch notes. What do you need to know? What do you need to know? What are you looking for exactly? These skills can't be used with minions. The abridged version teaser. Yep. Minion, this is a huge thing there, Are We Dead Yet? And I don't think you really paid attention to it. That's a huge thing, and I don't think you paid attention to it. And so all of the minion accuracy things were removed, which also makes an interesting question. Did they boost anything? Because let's just go to PoE. So you used to be able to do 12, 12, 12, and get double damage. So you used to be able to get 36% and a double damage node here. They're removing all the accuracy things. So does this mean that this just becomes damage nodes? Or are they removing this whole thing and we have lost out on 36 damage and the options of being able to get ourselves a deal double damage? Because you used to do the minion this one, minions have 6% chance to deal double damage, and then you do the medium gem and get renewal, which minions have a 5% chance to deal double damage when they're on full life. So what you used to be able to do is you used to run 15% from your cluster jewels and a 6% there, which would give you a 21% chance to do double damage. Used to be very huge. Now it might not necessarily be there. It became Chaos Res. Nope, I don't say modifiers are unchanged, and these modifiers will now be do nothing. I don't see anything that says that, but we can go through rest. Blink arrow. Minion duration is 5 seconds. Blink arrow. Minion duration is 5 seconds. Mirror arrow prismatic clones. Minion duration is 5 seconds. So Bama might not be as good as you thought it was. Mirror arrow of bombarding clones. Minion duration is 5 seconds. Used to be 20 seconds to have your for Bama. Now it's 5. There you go. Passive tree changes. This is the one. This might be where you were looking for. Removed accuracy and granted minion accuracy rating is equal to yours. Replace the minion offensive mastery that grants this with minions have 20% increased cooldown recovery. So you get some cooldown recovery. Grave Pack, the cluster now grants chaos. So Grave Pack passive tree now gives chaos resistance instead of minion accuracy. They literally gutted it. Oh, come on. They didn't gut it. You just got to do some more investment. Yes, it's in the Grave Pack is now going to become chaos resistant, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. But this is let me go back to this. It's almost like they were trying to make a new game. Yeah, it does. It was multi-mirror bowls, but it's still good. PoE 1.5. So what I was talking about this was as follows. Okay, so Elusive has one thing that's kind of weird about Elusive, and this is an interesting situation. Elusive, the percentage for things goes down, right? So you got 120% effect, and then the effect goes down, right? If I do a Shabi, and I choose this and I do this. When we go for the new assassin configuration, where is it? Right here. The new assassin configuration, and we go Mistwalker, we're going to have the 100% increased elusive effect. So that's going to give us 200% elusive effect. 200% elusive effect. Then you throw in the Ashabi, which is going to be 220. And so what happens is you have a 50% chance of it disappearing at 100. So while you're critting, you crit, bam, you get 220%. It goes from 120% down to 100, disappears, you crit again, you get 220%, and you go down from 220% again. Now, there are other things that we need to take into effect as well. And this brings in a lot of different things. Because when you start talking about Elusive initially grants 15% chance to avoid all damage types. That's 15%. Double it, becomes 30%. Right. This is what I was talking about the other day when you said, "Oh, they didn't do anything for survivability for assassin." They kind of did. They did. It might require you to do some things to get all fully, but they did do some things. It's not like astronomical, but they did some things. So the 50% elusive effect wasn't as good, but they brought it to 100% elusive effect. So that's 100% elusive. It's either 100% mitigation or 100% mitigation or 0%. If it's not up, yes. If it's not up, yes, you would go from you. But at the same time, every time you crit, which you should be critting every second, it should automatically go back to 100 and 100. Well, at this time, let's just be honest. At this, it was 50%. Okay. Now there's some other things that we need to take into account. Unless they change this, which we can check. There should be somewhere in here. Where is it? There is a... There used to be something that gives you more loose back in the day. Did they get rid of that? There's doo-doo on my shirt. Yes, there's doo-doo on my shirt. I'm so sorry. Yes, there are those mods. But what I'm saying is you can get 220% down to 100%. It can disappear and come back at 220%. You have a 50% chance of never going below 15% avoidance for all damage. This is a huge thing. It is a huge thing for Assassin if you go this bloodline. Because it's 220%, which means that it's going to be at least 30% or a little bit higher than 30%, taken down to 15%, then jump back up to 30% on a regular basis. Half the time, it's going to go back up to, and you'll never go lower. Yeah, and that's a different situation. DOTs, you got to deal with DOTs. But DOTs can be taken care of, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. And this is why the assassin configuration is so awesome. I now have recoup. Recoup any physical damage taken. So if I get hit, as long as I'm getting hit, I'm gonna have a regular DOT deterrent. Kind of like petrified blood or whatever you want to call it. There's a or that other one. And unaffected by damaging ailments. This is the key. You see that one? By damaging ailments. So if it's a DOT that's considered an ailment, yeah, not gonna happen. But there are DOTs that aren't ailments. They are. But if it's an ailment, just push that to the side. Doesn't do anything to me. Oh, such a beautiful. They did a lot of awesomeness. They did a lot of awesomeness. All right, so what other things is corrupting blood a debuff or a I think corrupting blood is a debuff though. Corrupted blood is a debuff. It still takes damage. You still take damage from corrupted blood. No, it's a debuff. It should not be confused with a bleed, an ailment, which has a similar effect. It is a debuff. So, but you can get rid of it here. Corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you. It's in the protection mastery. Just take protection mastery and bam, you're good. But what kind of sucks is what I would do is if I was, let's say if I was doing this one or this protection mastery, I'd go here for the chaos resistance, chaos resistance, chaos resistance. I don't care about that 30% avoid poison or 30% avoid bleed because I'm going to be an assassin and I'm going to be taking that node that says those things that I don't even have to worry about those things. But then I grab this and I do this, and then I don't take that debuff. I don't take the debuff of corrupted blood. I have multiple DOTs that won't help, or ailments that won't, DOT ailments that won't hurt me. So in other words, what I mean by that is you take no bleed, you take no poison, you get no corrupted blood. Those are three of the DOTs that you have to worry about. Now, after that, what you have to look for is the debuffs that actually can hurt you. There's some debuffs that actually can hurt you. The lightning one that kind of like ignite is an ailment. Ignite is an ailment, isn't it? Ignite is considered an ailment. Elemental ailment. I can't take ignite. Sorry, I didn't call that out. Ignite, bleeding, poison, corrupted blood. I'm immune to all of them by taking that node. The only thing you have to worry about is debuffs. And there are certain debuffs. Correct. It's not. But what I just said was, if I go here and take the protection mastery and do corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you, I am immune to ignite, bleed, poison, corrupted blood. And the only other debuffs you have to worry about is that, like that lightning debuff that they got. There's a lightning debuff that's out there. I forgot what is the one. There's a lightning debuff that you have to worry about. You have to worry about that other debuff that's out there. That's the mana one that causes all kind of problems. You got to worry about those because those are the ones that are gonna hurt you the most. Debuffs right here. Let's look and see if we got debuffs. The donut, and the most annoying one is freeze. But that's not a damaging ailment. That's just one of the ones that's gonna stop you so you get beat down. That's a beat down with debuff. That's different. I consider that a beat down debuff. That's one of them ones that you just, I'm about to get killed. How's the pipe collection? It's expensive. I get less pipe drops now, but because it's expensive. I actually might lower the price of pipe drops just a little bit because it's at that point that people don't use it as often, but it has totally stopped. But but the debuffs and stuff like that, you have to watch out for some of the debuffs. I can't find the ones that I'm looking for because they've got so many debuffs in this game. It's crazy. The damaging debuffs that you're gonna have to look out for those. There are some other damaging debuffs. I know there's a lightning one. I know that there's one that there's a debuff that causes damage based on your mana configuration or something like that. So you got to watch out for those. But they did make they made an effort. Drowning orbs. Yeah, that would be a debuff that actually. Yeah, that kind of. But all in all, I mean, they did some pretty good modifications and changes inside of it. Now, like I said, the ones that are going to be interesting and could become real, become is this one, Living Lightning. I'm already ready to start working on that. Okay, I'm already ready to start working on that one. Make a build for that. I'm just going to wing it anyway. Same with me. I'm winging it a little bit. But it's just like there are some interesting things. The Spectre thing is really awesome. The Bloodline stuff is like I said, there's 10 of them. We only see 3. We only see the 3. The ones that, and out of the 3 that they gave us, the only ones that I like, is Ashabi. Out of the 3 that they showed us, I want a Wing Winter Orb, but I know it will be bad for League start. I laugh out loud. I'm not going to get to use Bloodlines anyway. Come on, you can use a Bloodline. Come on, you got this. You've got this. So let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's do this. Reset here. Reset everything. Boop. We're gonna do Shadow because we love shadows. We're gonna do Assassin because we love assassins. You need all 8 points. That's true. That's true. That's true. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at some things. We're going for Winter Orb. Somebody said they want a Winter Orb, right? We're gonna do Winter Orb. So this is where it's gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Let's go. Let's cheat. Which one is it? Cyclone? No, it's not Cyclone. Poison PV. There we go. Control C. That's it. New. Shadow. Assassin. And it's not really cheating a little bit, it's cheating some. Alright? 100% chance to poison. Now, since we have 100% chance to poison, how many ultimatum invites? Man, I hate ultimatum. I don't even do them. I just leave. Look, that's kind of like asking me how many heists I do. Yeah, so 100% chance to poison on hit. So I don't know if that what you're saying is actually built into it though. That's what I don't know about that. So we can try and see if it accepts it. All damage from hits and poison It looks like it might work. It looks like it might work. Let's go ahead and go to skills. Enter orb. See if it does the calculation for it. No. No. Doesn't. That does. So this actually is taking into account your cold damage. 100% chance to poison on hit gives you what you're looking for. Yeah, I agree. There will probably be a modification, but that I'm gonna leave both of them in there so that we got a 100% chance to poison, and then that way you can get the damage from your winter war. All right. So that's the first thing. We get poison from winter orb. Yay! All right. So next will be making modifications and figuring out what we're gonna do. So the question then, Saraline, is the following: do you want poison, or do you want to try to do this as a I have to attack as many times as possible to get poison, or are you just looking for big hit causes large poison? No, we're just kind of cheating. Okay, that's what I needed to know. So, another thing is, you said you're probably going to do Mistwalker, right? You're going to go here, get the Shadowed Blood, and you're going to go this route, right? Where you're going to be getting increased duration from toxic delivery and the damage from all to all poison. So you're going to drop Mistwalker. Not a problem. Drop Mistwalker, use that inside the bloodlines. Got it. Not a problem. We can do this. So let's go ahead and try to figure out how we're going to do this. we go. We got that corrupted blood thingamajigger right there. Gonna go. Yes. Do you have an idea of what weapon you're going to use? Do you have an idea of which weapon you want to try to do? Okay, so Nope was thinking a +2 wand and nothing comes to +2 wand if nothing comes to mind. Okay, so you're thinking about wand. So you're thinking about wand shield is what I'm thinking. Okay, so wand shield. That changes where we go. Basic. This is basic here. Gotta go here. That. Gotta do that. All right, there we go. I I don't want to go this route because it's not actually there. So, but this would give you about what you need, but it's a channel, so you want to channel up to 10, you said, and then you run. That. Might as well go that route if you're gonna get it. If your possibility to get any power charges, but you definitely want this. You want this one, that one. Your life is only at 94, so you need more. We're not gonna go too. I mean, we can travel to get more cast speed and life over here, and try to grab some elemental spell damage and elemental crit from here, or get some crit from here. Do that. Do that. With Golden Rule, yeah. Yes, you should be able to do Golden Rule with no problem. And the reason why I say you can do Golden Rule with no problem is Golden Rule, bleeding and poison have no effect on you. So you're right. I could automatically add this plus 150 to chaos There you go. Because your chaos resistance is gonna be maxed out. Let's just be honest. We got chaos resistance. So this is a basic tree configuration, I'm thinking. You're gonna want a little bit more things, and this is just me. You're gonna want to go this route if possible. That brings you up to 24. I know. I found it. It's over here. That'll bring you up to 31% off of your spells. You're at 100 now. I think you want to try to get everything else from off of your off of gear and or do some other modifications. Right now we're at that little spot where we're at 100 points. We need to kind of start looking at other things. Now don't get me wrong, you're going to get this. I think we can actually add that in the configurations. Hold for a second. Give me a second. Let me see if it'll work. I think that's actually a real thing. Doesn't really do anything, sorry. I was trying to add that in there. So I was trying to add them in to see if it actually does any effect. It does. It does. Ignite gives you 0. Bleeding gives you 0. Poison gives you 0. So those damaging effects will not actually affect you, or not hurt you. So it does actually do that. So adding unaffected by damaging ailments does work. So no regen. And this does work too. Physical damage recouped 40% over 4 seconds. So you do see it is there. So what you would have to do to verify is to there's a way to have it do physical damage. There you go. Enemy skill physical damage is 22 or 20 override, so you can actually see and hear recoup. The recoups, there you go, right here. Recoup. So over time, you will recoup 186 points, 86. So they kind of calculated in here. So it is in there for effective hit pool configuration, stuff like that. You get the recoup. There you go. So the maximum recoup is going to be 205. This is all recoup to life, so it is there. We do have those things. This override will actually do that and give you all that. Now you're going to have to go from there with the Winter Orb to figure out what you're going to add to it. But there are some things that so right now you're just doing that. Let's just say add cold damage, unbound ailments. Focus. Ah, that's right. Infused. I forgot about that. Infused because you're channeling. GMP, greater multiple projectiles. And you said cruelty. Now, what you're gonna have to do, like I said, you're gonna have to make some gear things, because right now you just got no gear at all. And so, if we do the standard configuration for trying to survive, there's a couple of things that you're going to want to do as well, but the standard things for trying to survive, and then your health potion. Boom, boom, boom. You're going to want to put gear on, that's one thing, but also I think you're going to want to try to go and get some things like this. Get the chance to suppress here. That gives you 53 suppression. You can do this to get a little bit more suppression. And maybe go down here, but see, now we're sitting there at 117. That gives you 97% suppression. Herald of Ice, so I probably don't so I don't want focus. So you're gonna want Herald of Ice. Get that extra. Then you're gonna want Frostbite. You wanna or Assassin's Mark, depending upon. Frostbite gives you 25, 23 if you go Assassin, so it's gonna be Frostbite. Then you're gonna want a Grace, or yeah, you're gonna want Grace most likely. Automation, kill skin, more duration, and phase run. Yeah, the reason why I think a lot of these things through is just because of how I've done this for so long. But there are some this is not a great tree yet. This is just like a basic. This is like a basic kind of identifying what we're looking for. And then what I would do is I would go back and do this again. So I would go through and so like we're at 25,000. At 25,000, I would go back and redo it again, leaving the gems in place, redo the tree to see if I can get even higher by choosing different paths and different things. But those are some of the things that I would do. Is just now one of the things is the cast speed. Cast rate is 5.72. You want that to be as high as you possibly can get it. The more cast speed you have, the easier it is .2. See, but what you want is the more cast speed that you have in the build means that you won't be standing still for as long to build up your stacks of Winter Orb. So you'll build up the stacks of Winter Orb, and then you can run for a while. Then you build up the stacks or run for a while. There are some other things that's going to be a problem, and one of the things that I would do is redo this. I would redo it. Let's just say, because there's some other things that I think that would probably benefit you. This right here, increased skill effect duration. That will benefit you. Figuring out a way to get to that skill effect duration is going to be huge. Skill effect duration. If there's another spot we can hit. So you might not want to go that route. You might want to go this route, so you can pull these all out and go here. Depending upon the skill effect duration that it gives you. Look at the calculation. Skill duration is 5.7. So it'll last for 5.7, or go this route and it's still 5.7. What's the difference between going this route and getting that versus this route here? One, three, are we short on intelligence? Right. So that's 10, 20, 30. Then you go into the duration thing where you got one's going to give you suppression. Then you're going to get some dexterity. Then you go into your skill effect duration area. So this would give you, I would go this route because this is going to take you from 97 to 98 spell suppression. I know it doesn't sound that big, but it's actually pretty big. But then what we would have to do is we'd have to squeeze some stuff out of the tree to compensate for using up all your points, because right now you used up all your points to 100, so you have to be 100 for this one. So you would have to pull points out of the tree. This is just me. This is how I would do it. I'd pull some points out. Yeah, like I said, I'd pull points out to bring myself back down to like 95. But this is my basic configuration that I have put together. Would we? This converts all the damage. We're going to need chance to poison. That is correct. Hmm. That's true. Don't forget you get this from here. 10%, 10% chance to poison. And then so you got a 10% chance to poison from here. Which one did you say? Septic? Yeah, septic spells from medium cluster would actually help. You could go this route and get rid of the cast speed and go this route. That'll save you some, but it gives you 10, 20. So no, that's 25% right here. The poison chance for spells. That gives you a 25% chance to poison there. Then, depending upon how you roll it, you can go this route. And you're going to have to remove points, though. You're going to have to remove points from somewhere, but you can get 15, 25. You get another 25 from here. That'd be 30%. But you're going to have to pull some points from someplace. You're going to have to figure out which way, where you want to pull it from. You can pull it from... You can try to say, "Hey, I don't want to crit as much because it's not gonna do you very much damage." This just gave you like 1,000, 1,000 points of damage. You can pull those 3 points to save you. You could also do some other things. But that would be kind of a basic tree configuration if you can think about it. Corrupted blood immunity on golden rule to save 4 points. That's true. That could save you 4 points. So you can pull those 4 points out like that. So depending upon, you could also do this. How bad is this gonna? Will this affect you? You can actually be like, look, I'm just that one up. This one you want to keep because it will help you. That takes you down to 94. We can change our the pathing. There's no go through the side. Which means I never like that when you have to do that. Takes us down to 124. But that gives you more points that you're down to 90. You could actually do this, that. That takes you up to 28, which is higher damage than we had before. we'll have to hybrid them together. Yeah, 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 yeah. This is looks like it's a okay. Not the greatest, but it's okay. That's 95. You like I said, you're gonna have to go through some looking at some things to try to see if you can if you can do better. I really need to make my wife give me some water. But that's okay. I gotta go upstairs and give me some water because I ran out. I brought it down here, and then when I brought it down here, I drank it all up. You can tell that I'm a terrible person because I got lots of glasses down here, and and I'm thirsty right now. So let's get this. Let's get this. So guys, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go. Give me some water. Need a water fountain down there? Yeah, yeah. I got a sink on the outside out there, but it's not filtered. I got to get me filters on that sink, and then I would be fine. But well, really, I could just be like, "Get it? I'm gonna drink this water. I don't care if it's filtered or not." But you know, hey, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get me some. I'm gonna go get me some water, and I'll be right back. I understand. Love you too. Let's go. Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Okay, so all right, so this is pretty much a basic configuration. You don't have to do some serious look and fixes because I'm sorry to say I do not like the 24. That might be easy to rectify if let's just say we got Asian body armor. And yes, I do not go with the maximum armor. Tier 2 health, add craft boots. Blink boot. Craft. Do some movement speed. Just do health. Boom, boom. Go. Craft. Gloves. Slink gloves. Safe. Helmet. The lion pelt. So those are the basics. That takes us up to 32,000 effective hit pool. That's gonna be a little bit. You got a little bit better hit pool. Onslaught might be the better one. Yep, I think Onslaught is the better one. So we're gonna do a silver. So this is basic right here. So that if you can get this all on rotation, get the 32k without your potions, you're gonna be at 27. With your potions, you'll be at 32. You're probably gonna need to do some more things. I need to get the shared flash set up in my POB. Oh, that's easy, dude. It's easy. Set up. So I can steal those? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So what you do is, after they're in your inventory, just drag them over here. And they just drag them over to this side, and then they will be usable by everybody, anybody else. Just so if I wanted to, let's say lion pelt, I can just put the lion pelt there. Guess what? Lion pelt now will show up every time. That particular lion pelt configuration is, it's just drag it over and then you can use it. And yes, I will share this to you because I'm probably not going to keep it because I don't need copy. Let's get this in the chat window for you. Not a problem. Not a problem. So, but this is this is, like I said, this is a basic configuration. Now, there's going to be a lot of things like this ball lightning build configuration. One of the things I'm gonna have to do with the I'm kind of messing around with this game. That's the end game for the ball lightning, and it is at 98. So hold up. I really should go back. Import. Sorry, I gotta import the build I just gave you. I'm gonna steal some of the configurations down here to use. I don't want to have to. I'm being lazy. I don't want to have to type it up. There you go. Source from lightning. Now I get source from lightning. I don't. Yeah, that would be grip gloves. Give me. There we go. Chaos, lightning, this. Oh, hold up. Bam. That's what I was looking for. There we go. Total poison damage jumps up to 37,000. Total poison DPS. Damage per poison is a 6K now. Now, so that's withered stack configuration. I think this is gonna be this is gonna be nice. That's one bolt. This is all bolts. So from one bolt, that's gonna be nice. Oh, this is gonna be beautiful. This is gonna be beautiful. This is gonna be beautiful. I think I think this is gonna be such a good thing now. Such a good thing. Such a good thing. We got there's some good things that they threw in. Now I do have some other questions. They added in some more Uber boss fights. I don't think it's gonna be really nice. They did the quality of life things.
Make you stronger. They are also your means of feeding the Genesis tree, which needs constant supplies of graft blood to grow anything useful. You can do this by defeating breach monsters, which will leave behind blood that your graft will automatically collect. When you feed this blood to the tree, your allocated passives will be put to work. This section of the Genesis tree can be used to grow new grafts for you, which the Genesis tree will then birth in a gruesome display.
So, this is interesting. That bottom one is for grafting. So I got a question.
Basic passives on the tree might increase item rarity of birthed grafts, or the chance to birth additional grafts. These passives can target specific types of grafts, and this passive causes grafts to be birthed with a random amount of quality.
Okay, so we have already determined from here, we've already determined which grafts we want, right? I mean, they already gave us minion players a little idea of what we want. We want the toll graft. We want the toll graft. So, in that video, what he's saying is,
basic passives on the tree might increase item rarity of birthed grafts, or the chance to birth additional grafts. These passives...
That was a toll. Saw it, right?
Grafts.
Toll creation. 400 increased chance for birthed grafts to be toll grafts. We already figured out our tree. Go up through here, get toll graft, go up through here, and then get these other ones up here. That's the Wombit graphs, which means let's look at this. Gifts. Right there, he just told me where I needed to go. I love GGG. They help me out that's on my summoner. That's on my summoner. I need to figure out what I'm gonna use on my other guy though. So that's the summoner. On my other guy, I don't even know. How many different graph skills that they were? I think they put that inside these notes. Hold on a second. Did they say? They didn't say. All they said was to go twisted in blah blah any kind of worldly item dash graphs. You think they did it in the Q&A? Well, I mean, we can go back and kind of check. I mean, I ain't scared. Ain't scared. Man. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, they didn't even link it. You got to go to the other thing. Got to do transcript. Hold up a second. So you saying do this? Control F. Nope. On the full on the YouTube video here. Okay, so you saying transcript and do that? Oh heck no, that's weird. Go to here and go to what? But hey, so but I had it. Okay, so go back.
This section.
So you're saying go here, change this. There you go. Traditional. Change that from Chinese to English. English auto generated. So down here, hit transcript. No transcript. Yeah, it's on Ziggy D's channel. That's what I said. That's what I was like, huh? I don't remember. That's what I was looking. I was like, hold up, that ain't the right one.
And welcome to the post-reveal discussion and Q&A with Jonathan and Mark, lead guys who make games. I believe was what we discussed as the title.
And we're looking for what?
Like
we're looking for
We're
graph.
talking about how to inflate their titles. Lead up to this. 327 Keepers of the Flame, the reveal. We just had their creepy arms that you can grow on yourself. I love that. They just here, have an arm. Sure. Just plug it into your back. Why not? I mean, we were shoving rusty bits of metal in ourselves and stuff before, so why not continue with that? But these are like, it was in the video, but I didn't really like kind of understand kind of how impactful they'd be until I was messing around with it, especially for leveling. But these are like pretty major skills and an extra layer, because especially so there's 16 of them, and you can have 2 of them, and they're like a mixture of auto casting skills, proc
16. Ziggy just said it. There's 16 of them. He gave away the info. 16. There's 16 graph skills, people. 16 graph skills. We now we know exactly how many graph skills that are out there, and we're going to be using 16 of them. There's 16 graph skills. All right. So, I can see myself going up here, getting the toll graph, because I like that one that they had. And then going up here, grab this, and then moving up to this way. So trigger wand in Act 6. No, trigger wand is Act 9. Yeah. The trigger wand will be available Act 9. Because that you got to do it inside of the refinery. Find it. Then you can put a trigger wand in place, and then you can go from there. That's actually pretty. That's actually pretty good. Actually pretty good. Let's see if there's anything in here that they really talked about. For warning, motion, reach types, and gameplay design, crafting skill tree, WASD and rigging. Nope, nothing else I want to see in that Q&A. All right, so I think we covered it all. So tomorrow, when we get ready to get online, the things that I will be doing tomorrow, just FYI, tomorrow, we will be pulling up the ball lightning configuration. We're not going to be really playing too hard, too heavy, but we're going to be going through and we're going to be doing Act 1 kind of configuration on, what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be playing a character. And I'm going to be playing a character, and I'm going to be Act 1 skills. What skills I'm going to get for Act 1, I'm going to put it all in there and be like, this is what you should be using, Act 1. This is what you should be using, Act 2. This is what you should be using, Act 3. And this is what I'm going to use to get all the way through the campaign, going all the way up. And I'm still debating on how I should roll, because the other day I don't know if I showed you guys, but the other day I came up with a leveling strategy, and I started using that leveling strategy instead of everything else that I chose. I went back to the old school leveling strategies. And let me show you what the old school leveling strategy was. I'm going in and see if I can open up Path of Exile. Where's Path? Come on. Will you open on the right screen? Open over here. Open over here. Open over here. Hey, it opened on the right screen. Hey, there we go, and it's screwed up. That's yeah. So you gotta give me a second. I gotta do a little worky thing to get this thing to work. There you go. That was it. Now it's ready. So what I chose to do, and I was sitting there going, messing around with this. And I was like, okay, let me go ahead and do this. And kind of just going through. And then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do it that way. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to regular mercenaries and documentation guide. So documentation 1. And so documentation 1, I'm running this guy and I'm using Frost Bomb and Freezing Pulse. And so I was using Frost Bomb and Freezing Pulse to kind of get through things. And so this is what I chose. Oh, tried and true.
I survived the pits of process. I'll survive.
So tomorrow we'll be just running through. Going zone for zone, running through, just trying to find the best route. But as you can see, it's just going through, figuring out what points and where my points are going to be, and just leveling up stuff and say, okay, well, what point, where should I put my next point? And so it's really, this is all about just mapping out where I was at certain points to be able to go through and get to the next area, etc. But right now I'm going with Freezing Pulse and Frost Bomb instead of doing any of the other ones that we had tested. Okay, so we tested a bunch of different powers. So we tested. Oh, it works. It works. Trust me, it works. I've used it before. I was trying to do something else because where that becomes a problem is when you're fighting Marivel. You have to make sure that you have a good amount of mana potion, or your mana potion needs to be pretty good when you're fighting Marivel. That's the only problem I have with that particular role, is that you're sitting there and you're fighting Marivel and you're having to actually use a lot of mana just to take her down. It works out really nice when the extra mobs come in, etc., etc. You cross blink and you're doing a lot of good damage and stuff. It's a very good, effective way to do damage, kind of rushing through to get to Marivel, but I don't like it fighting Marivel. That's where I have my issue. I have my issues fighting Marivel. It's like, how about that? So the first wall. So tomorrow we're going to be doing mostly documentation. to get all the documentation we need to put in place to get our to do the ball to get our ball lightning configuration in. We'll go through and try to get all that documented, put together. Then we'll go ahead and do the next act, and we're just gonna kind of do those, fill in the blanks and stuff like that. So just so you're aware, we're gonna do like this, and I am not filling out the Act 1 powers yet until I get to Marivel. After I get to Marivel, I'm gonna put those powers in place. I'm gonna be like, hey, this is the powers that I used to beat Marivel, and or for the fight for Marivel and what I got in my system. So that way I can go ahead and I can be like, this is it, kind of move forward. So one of the other things I could do is I could go here and go, hey, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go mercenaries and document 1. And I can go items and skills, and just bam. The tree stays the same. These are the items that I'm using. Trees and Pulse at level 3. Orb of Storms at level 2. Frost Bombs level 2, 4, and 2. But I planned on doing, like I said, I'm just planning on right as soon as I fight Marivel, go in, grab what my my inventory is. It also will give me my gems that I have, and then that's what I'm gonna do for Marivel. Then what I'll do is I'll switch over to Act 2. Set of Act 2 one up, and then this is the gym configuration. This is the things. These are the items I was wearing, and this is the gym configuration that I had. Now, what I might go in and do is the things that I'm wearing. Some of these things I might actually switch them out for base gear pieces. That way, it kind of shows, but at the same time, that's not necessarily what we're going to be running and what we're going to have long term. So I'm thinking I'm gonna just grab it each individual one and say, hey, this is my gear, this is my gear. Now like this, I'm gonna delete all. I'm glad I'm not saving this. So what I should have done was say I got Act 1 for skills. I need to go here to new, to Act 1 gear. Save that. Switch to Act 1 gear. Switch to there. That way when I do the import, go to mercenaries, documentation, bam. So it's on the Act 1, and this is on the Act 1 gear as well. So that will keep me from overriding the gear that I had in place for in-game. But either way it goes, that's what I'm gonna probably do, is just say, hey, this is what you can do. This is the thing. This is what I did. Kind of move through the process of going through each individual act, grabbing what I had in place, and then just go ahead and making sure that inside of my notes section, what I needed to do, what I did in each one of those things moving forward. But I also changed the format of this. There's a new format that I'm going to be using, because I've always used that format and did the colors. I'm going to change to this format, I think, which is the reward selections. This is going to be everything you use or everything you select for rewards. This is what you select. Okay, and then whatever you're going to purchase or find, these are the things you're going to look for, right? And then the gear coloring that's needed for this act, I'm going to put in here like that. And so at the top, I'm going to kind of do a little summary of how to play in this particular act, what you're supposed to do in this particular act. and then kind of just build it like that, and then throw that in there that away instead of doing it the way that I used to do it. Because and there's not, don't get me wrong, there's not really anything wrong with the way I used to do it. I just feel that there's a when I did it this way, there is lot, a lot of excess stuff. So path. I don't really think I need to tell people what path they need to take. That's the one thing I think that I don't necessarily like now, what I used to do. So I used to go through and be like, go into this zone, enter this zone, jump back to here, do these things to walk you completely through the act. I don't need to do that. You might not want to do this zone the way that do the zones in the order that I chose to do the zones. You might decide you want to do something else. I'm not going to give you pathing anymore. Let you do your own thing. Run. You want to run off a cliff? Run off a cliff. Just as long as you remember that this is the gems that you need when you run. So that's what I plan on doing tomorrow morning. We're gonna go through, process through, run through everything we can. We're gonna get all the way through Act 1. We're gonna get through Act 1, complete Act 1, go to Act 2, complete Act 2. And we're gonna go through all the acts that we can. So this is gonna be documentation. This is gonna be documentation build days. So it's gonna be build documentation days moving forward. That's pretty much what it is. Build documentation days moving forward. And we're gonna try to get some of this stuff where we're gonna get our things like oop, this is not gonna be tags. Oop, that the enemy full of life. Nope. This is gonna be there. Nope. This is how we're gonna run until we can get to what we need. Now, at Act what's it called? At Act 2, Act 3 is when we're gonna do our cutover. And what I mean by that is when we do Act 3, I'm gonna tell everybody Act 3 is gonna be the hardest part because I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna in my guide, I'm gonna say, hey, you need to go and do X. What I mean by that is you're gonna go and do the lab as many times as you need to get the transfigured gem you need. You're gonna have to get that transfigured gem. And after you get that transfigured gem, let's move forward. Have fun? Oh, what do you mean have fun? Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's gonna be at least, well, what it was the average? The average is like 12 times. So you can get the gem before then, but it can be up to 12 times running the lab. So we're gonna run the lab 12 times until we get our gem. And then after we get our gem, then it's off to the races again with the gem that we need going toward the end game. So that's where the leveling guide is gonna kind of stall, because it's gonna be like, I am going to do this until you get to this. You can move forward, but I suggest these things. And then after that, then it's going to be run for the hills moving forward from that point on. I think we got a really good configuration that we're going to be going through with the differences that we're going to see in the assassin. I think it's going to be nice. And so with my assassin build, I go this route right here, and I do all these different things that kind of give me a really good configuration. one of the things that I think I might have to do is pull some points out. Because I think I'm going to pull points from some places to give me points in another thing. So I really don't need this energy leech's shield. I really don't need it. I can take that energy leech's shield out and use it in recoup. And then when I put it into recoup, damage taken recoup is life. Damage taken recouped is life. Damage taken recouped is life. So that means it's going to enhance the damage taken that I already got. So this is like 12 plus 6 equals 18. Plus another 6 equals 24, right? Yep. 24. And so that's 24 plus the 40%, so that's a 64% damage taken recouped is life. That could be a pretty interesting situation. And then we could actually see if there's something that can enhance that. But yeah, that's just one of those. We'll get it. We'll get it. Like I said, we'll figure some stuff out. But I think that we definitely want to continue to look to see, and it's gonna be next week. Next week when they come out with the new POB, we're gonna have to make sure we get the new POB as soon as possible, so we can go ahead and try to be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is the new assassin configuration. This is how it's gonna, this is the actual damage from poison now, because this doesn't work anymore. And then these, so this also will affect my build. This new configuration will affect my build. And why? Because I am using an ambush assassinate. I'm using unstable infusion. So what's going to happen is I got to pull things. I got to pull things out to see exactly how much what my crit's going to be. That's where my problem is. So let's go to skills. Switch this back over to default. Let's switch the items back over to default. So with this, and we're running all lightning like that, you see we got 53, right? So what's going to happen is I'm going to lose that. I'm going to lose that for sure, right? So when I do configuration, is enemy on full life, it becomes now 58 crit chance. This configuration right here might now be needed. So this, I don't know why it doesn't pop up. Using a sword, ain't I? So there's a problem, and the problem is this node is not actually being calculated. 120% increased critical strike chance with swords. Negative 20 crit multiplier. So when I use this and I put this in place, I should get a higher crit chance. It doesn't calculate it. Doesn't calculate it. I am using item sword. So what would happen is I would actually have to use this or something else to get myself a higher crit capability, because I've lost the insta crit that I used to get from this. I do this, and then I put in full life. I go to 100% crit chance. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, wow. I didn't even join the dungeon. Didn't join. Hold up. Did I? No, the dungeon started. Oh. I'm sorry. I missed it. Yeah, I missed it. I missed it. The dungeon already started. What I need to do is I need to figure out how to do a use dungeon like every hour. Just have it automatic. I need to find the Tangia and then see if there is a spawn dungeon. A spawn dungeon thing. The interactions. See if I can get an interaction called spawn dungeon by command line. If you can get a spawn dungeon by command line, then hey, that might actually work. Hold up for a second. Oh. That's how you do it, I think. I think that's how we do it. I think I figured it out. So I don't know if it'll be a dungeon of mine or would it be a dungeon of nanobot? You took too long, Cerulean. You took too long. So let me try something. Let me see if nanobot is gonna be. We're gonna try this out. We're gonna try this out. You know what? See if it'll do it. And we're gonna do this every 60 minutes. See if it'll do it. I really should change that. Change that. Let's do that every 3 minutes for now. 5 minutes is the minimum. Let's do a 5-minute interval. See if it'll actually do it in 5 minutes. So We're gonna see if it actually generates a dungeon. If Nanobot can generate his own dungeon. We'll see if it'll actually let us join dungeons. If it allows them to join if it'll generate a dungeon, if Nanobot can generate dungeons on his own, then I can just have it do a timer of 60 minutes, and every 60 minutes it's going to generate a dungeon, and people can join the dungeon every 60 minutes, automatic free dungeon. But you could you can create dungeons on your own, but that's a way to get people to get it to generate a dungeon. Let's put it like that. I don't think it'll work myself. I don't think it'll work myself. Hmm. 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 I don't see how you do it. It's not gonna work. Not gonna work. Yep. No way to do it. Oh well. Maybe. Hold up. I might have figured it out. Give it 2 seconds. I think I figured it out. Maybe. Nope, that's not it. I'll join your dungeon, sir. I will join your dungeon, Sethra. You and I will go dungeon diving. We can get this. Sarah Lean's gonna miss it again. Sorry, Sarah Lean. You gonna miss the dungeon. You got 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. Oh, did he make it? Yes, Sarah Lean made it. All right. We get this dungeon done. Boom, 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 boom. I better not die in this dungeon. I'll be mad. I die in this dungeon. It's gonna be up. I'll be upset. I gained some experience. I'm getting better. I'm gonna have to doggone check on my thing next time, cause I need to. I'll need to make myself awesome. All right, we're gonna do documentation tomorrow. We're gonna have to do all that. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get on off here. We'll be up back on tomorrow morning, bright and early, so we can go ahead and try to do some documentation, get some things taken care of, make ourselves look real pretty. For the start of the league, looks like we're gonna do Assassin Ball Lightning. It might be a little bit harder than we were expecting to be able to do Ball Lightning Assassin, because they did screw some things up. And what I mean by that is, let's just go ahead and look at this one more time. I like the changes that they made, but unless they change some of these to give more crit, loss of crit capabilities. You want to go this route. You want to get the crit, increased crit chance. Crit chance, hopefully, is going to be here. Increased crit chances here, and increased crit chances going to be there. But that's only going to probably be 10, 20, 30, 40% crit chancing. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. Because you're going to want to run this one, and you're going to want to run that one. And that might not actually work out well. So you might want to go ahead and just make a selection of one of these, and then still go down this route and choose 100% more crit chance against enemies that are not on low life, and 110% or 100% critical strike multiplier against enemies that are not on low life. Critical strikes have culling strike. You might want to still go that route and get the knife in the back, because you might not be able to do it any other way. And let's just be honest, you might not be able to do it any other way. You might want to get that anyway, and then make sure you get whatever you want to get, all this, and then you want to go ahead and try to find whichever one of these two is going to be the best one for keeping you alive. This is okay, but I think it's going to be interesting. This will probably be a really good one, but we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to work on some things, try to figure it out, see if we we can get it working. Talk to you guys later. Peace out, and I hope this helps you in your quest for ultimate power. Talk to you later. Peace out. We'll be back tomorrow morning. We'll get things done.